in another episode of Checking In with Sin. I'm here with my good friend Lynn, and today we're coming at you with a mukbang style video. Today we will be discussing a topic that I feel like is very interesting. Okay. We'll be discussing the top 10 biggest frustrations of working bedside nursing. So if you're interested, stay tuned. Alright everyone, so today we're doing a mukbang, and I just wanted to show you guys what we have in store to eat. We're doing a Haitian style mukbang. So first I have some duricole à pois, which is Haitian beans and rice. And then, what else do I have? I have some griot, which is fried pork, bun pese, which is squished fried plantains, and then some salad. And then, of course, I have my favorite soda in the world, cola couronne.
I think that's every Haitian.
That's what it is. So, I'm ready to dig in. What do you have, Lynn?
I essentially have the same thing, except the rice is du blanc, white rice, and sauce pois,
which is like a bean sauce. Bean sauce. And then what about that?
Same as you.
Woo!
Good.
That looks good. That looks really good. Okay, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to dig in. So let's go.
First one is the CPs not doing their jobs.
So, I've heard CNAs be called CPs.
Right.
PCS, right. PCT.
Yes.
UA, UA2. Listen,
all the abbreviations.
All the letters, okay?
And I love y'all, but
some of you guys, I don't know. Like, the nurse's aide is supposed to help the nurse, and some of them are doing the opposite from that. They're making our job harder. They're doing things that are unsafe, or they're doing things and they don't even know why. They're like vital signs. They're taking vitals. Vitals are crazy. Blood pressure 200 over 100.
And no one lets you know.
They don't tell me. Until it's like later, like late in the night, I see, wait a minute. Why is
this person with a fever of 39 degrees
from 7 p.m.? You know what I mean?
Like, if you didn't have it, if it was that type of shift, you did not check nothing till midnight, you were done with your meds, and then boom, surprise.
Exactly. So that's not safe. And then on the other hand, you have some CNAs that are like giving you more work to do. Like, I don't know if you've ever had this experience. I've worked with CNAs that would like delegate things back to me. Like, oh, I didn't get a chance to clean up this patient. Can you clean them up? Oh, I didn't get a chance to XYZ. Can you go do it? And I'm like, wait, bruh. That's my job to tell you what to do. I don't know.
It's kind of like, though, if it was, I cannot do it by myself, could you step in the room with me? I'd be like, oh, I'm happy to do that. But when you're like, or if you're busy in another room, at that one moment, and I see your, hands and whatever, of course, I will not let my patient, I will run to the rescue. However, we both sit in the hallway, you have time.
And honestly, I'm not saying all CNAs are like this. I'm just saying
my favorites.
I'm just saying there are a lot that I've worked with that
on every floor
that they do these things, or we're both travel nurses. So every facility we go to, we're the new people. So
we get the worst patients.
We get the worst patients. We get the heaviest loads. So people see us, and the CNAs are already like, oh, well, I'm not gonna have any nurse tell me what to do, especially not a travel nurse. And they feel
like, oh, you can pay more anyway, so you can handle them.
You know what I mean? And at the end of the day, it's the patient that loses. Mm-hmm. And that's not how it should be. Like, the patient's not here to, like, inconvenience us. Right. They're just here to get care, So, PSA. Maybe not a PSA, but something I wanted to mention. Because the hospital we're working right now, I'm not going to name any names, but there are some CNAs who, like, they do vitals, whatever. They do them late, whatever. I don't know what it is. And you guys tell me if you've had the same experience. When it comes to blood sugars, sometimes they get done, sometimes they don't get done. Sometimes the CNAs do them late.
They forget.
you know, and at the end of the day, it falls back on you as the nurse
Or
if something doesn't get
or
done.
you ask
you know?
them at 11 o'clock to do the midnight sugar, and you ask them again at midnight just because you happen to be busy, and they still don't do it. And when you come out of your code at 2 in the morning, you're like, oh, let me catch up. Oh, it wasn't done. Let me go do it now.
So I don't know if you guys have had the same experience, but that's something I don't like because I feel like it's something that's important. Blood sugar is extremely important, and you can't just blow it off like, oh, I forgot, or oh, I'll do it. You know, I don't do it at the same time of vitals. I'll do it later. Like, most of the time, I end up just doing my own sugars when I see someone playing that game.
Mm-hmm.
But I shouldn't have to. I shouldn't have to.
A patient asked the CP last night while I was at work to take their sugar early because they were feeling faint. And they were like, no,
why?
We take them at this time.
Wow.
So they came up to the charge nurse like, what's going on, man? Like, you have specific times you can get this done?
Yeah.
And the charge nurse was basically like, no, they can't do that. We have to take your sugar. We'll do it. We'll be there. You know.
Wow.
Number 2. Nurses eat their young.
Now, I definitely experienced
giving report
this.
to some of these older nurses.
Yes. No, I've experienced this. Honestly, it doesn't make any sense. I remember my preceptor was very intense on me to the point where I felt like, you know what, maybe nursing isn't for me. But when I transitioned to, because I told my director, I was like, listen, I don't know about this. So I changed the preceptors, I think once or twice. And then I worked with other people, and they were super, like, understanding, super, like they didn't give me a hard time at all. And then I felt like, wow, maybe I can be a nurse. Like, honestly, you don't have to kill yourself over this. You know what I mean? And if you
do your best.
I've never been like that. Whenever I see, even if I'm not precepting someone, like, if I see someone's new, they're struggling, let me help you. Like, I'm happy to help you.
Right. Like, your questions, I don't mind, you know, when you need help with whoever.
Yeah.
Like, I know you have to move two of your patients tonight. Whenever you're ready, let me know. I don't have that much going on. Like, I don't know. But honestly, people don't do that anymore. Or I don't know if they ever did, but by the time we came into nursing, people didn't do that.
It's honestly, I don't know. I feel like a lot of things need to change in nursing, because I feel like nursing is changing faster than we can keep up with it. You know what I mean?
And I feel like us more responsibility, we should have less patients. And if you're gonna give us more patients, take away this responsibility and this, like, what's her name? Who almost went to jail because she gave her wrong medicine? Oh,
Lord have mercy.
Yes.
And you know that wasn't her patient.
Bruh. She was helping someone.
She was helping someone. But don't let that discourage you from helping people. You have to help people. You have to help nurses.
We have to help each other.
Like,
because we're not going to survive otherwise.
In nursing, yeah, we're not going to survive. Like, I don't know about you, but I always remember in nursing school, they said, I had one teacher who said this all the time. She said, nursing is a team sport. It's not like I get my assignment, I have my 6 patients, that's it.
That's it. Right.
That's not how it works. Because these people's lives isn't depending on one person.
Because when you call that code, boy, you know you can't do everything.
Everybody's in the room. You know what I mean? So I feel like if you help nurses and CNAs, sometimes I help CNAs clean up patients that are not mine. If I have a CNA that I know they do their thing, the nurse is busy, and you know what I mean, I'll help you clean up that patient because I know they're gonna help me clean up my patient, even if it isn't theirs. You know what I mean? I've worked. But everyone is not like that. Everyone's not like that. I've worked on floors where the nurses, like, say I have a patient, we would just go clean up that patient. That's it. That's it. Problem solved. Patient's clean. You know what I mean? So.
And we have before, rather than wait forever, like on the floor that we're on now. Like, come on, Cynthia, help me out.
Exactly. Because I feel like at the end of the day, there's no point in intimidating people. There's no point in acting like you're better than someone else. You know what I mean? When you do, you just look like you're miserable.
And so questions. And questions. Oh my God. And this eat the young thing. Like, I feel like as a more experienced nurse being on the floor, granted what it's been for me 4 years and change.
4 years as well.
And I still have questions. I know things. Like, I can answer the baby nurse's questions. However, like, there's situations that's going to come and and you're gonna have questions. And I'm an older nurse who's been doing this for 15 years, maybe has ran across a case like that before, and might have an answer. But they're so unapproachable and rude and know-it-alls that it's very hard. And even when you do step to them and ask them the question, then they're like, well, you should know this.
Yeah. I've met a lot of nurses like that.
Like,
and it's sad. It really is. So, I don't know if this is a state thing or a hospital thing, but I've worked in a few different places. And one thing about pretty much Florida, the doctors at night are at home. Yes. They're at home in their bed sleeping. I don't know if it's a state thing. I don't know.
Because I've been in a hospital where the doctor was a call away for the it was mixed. Some of them had doctors who had covered outside, but there was always somebody at the end of the day. If I called the outside doctor and I could not get them at all, he would come, he would put that order in for me. Yes, I would not let my patients sit there with a blood pressure of 180 something over and not do anything. Absolutely. But we don't have that option at this hospital. And I've been in other hospitals where it's just dial 83 whatever, and you got the doctor. In this hospital, you have to dial out to a service.
And the service wakes the doctor up.
And calls. And even if she's downstairs, even if somebody that's covering and they're right there in the ED, they do not answer the phone.
And I've worked at some places that have teams. So they'll have, this doctor has A team, this doctor has B team. And it's usually a team of resident doctors. You call, they'll tell you what to do, or they'll give you orders. You know what I mean? Because they're working under that doctor. But
sometimes.
But a lot of hospitals I've worked at, you call the doctor, you wake them up out of their sleep. And you tell them, hey, this is going on. They give you orders, or sometimes they're yelling. And when they yell at you, you're kind of like, oh, but I'm trying to look out for my patient. You know what I mean? So it turns into this thing where you're like, oh, I have to call Dr. So-and-so.
I got a prime example because I felt so bad after this encounter. I had a patient who needed a procedure, a hip replacement. It was a hip replacement. And when the ortho doctor came to see the patient and the ED, it wasn't an extensive review. Things weren't done at that time. So they put orders in and said they would do the procedure the next day after evaluating at night, whatever the case may be. I called the attending at some point during the night. I would like to get medical clearance and all these things while, if we have to order things to get that medical clearance. And that doctor yelled at me. Why? Did they come in the room yet? But they spoke to the patient. They saw the imaging. They are planning to do the procedure. And the order is in. If you see an order and you ignore it, what do they tell you? And at the same time, you see an order, you act on it, and you get yelled at.
Big attitude.
Big one.
Big attitude. So it turns into this thing where you're like, is this Dr. Nice? Should I call him? Should I wait till the morning?
And yes, the morning calls. Being so inconsiderate to other people that, I can't wake up for this sick person to give them the medication that they probably need. Wait till 6. That's when I'll answer my phone.
It shouldn't be happening. And like I said, it's not every hospital, but the hospitals that do have that, it's not good.
Everybody's favorite. Rude patients.
Rude patients. Okay. This one?
/ racist patients.
Okay, but that's another video. That's another video.
Another / to another video.
That's another video. But rude patients. I've been working med-surg for 4 years now. And med-surg, you get everything. You get ortho, you get GI, you get hematology, you get everything. You know what I mean? And the thing about med-surg is You usually have 6 patients. Some places go up to 7, some places even go up to 8.
But listen, while that also, I feel like you're going down the right hole as well. But I did med-surg tele and dialysis as well, and it's the same thing in there. So keep going. Even if you have them for 2 hours, they find an opportunity.
So the thing about it is, you're busy. You're juggling all these people and their needs. You're trying to make everyone happy. You're trying to be, provide good customer service. You're trying to be caring. You're trying to show that you're doing your best. And there are patients that will take that and kind of just slap you in the face with it. You know what I mean? And it hurts. It really hurts. To the point where sometimes it makes me feel like, why am I doing this? You know what I mean?
Why should I help you?
So I feel like when it comes to rude patients, it's like, and I understand, like, they're probably in pain, they're upset, they're anxious, they're stressed, scared.
I've never been sick at home and cussed out my family, but I've been in a hospital where patients have said cuss words to me. Why?
Every day.
I've never been sick at home.
Every day.
In pain or whatever the case may be, and say anything like that to anybody around me.
I don't think I've ever had a shift where I didn't experience rudeness or negative feedback from a patient that was uncalled for. And this is just the state of nursing. This is just the state of hospital.
There's no respect.
Right now. There's no respect. And this is something that needs to change. This is something that's adding to the burnout that nurses feel. And it's not right. It's not going down the right path. I could have a patient who, I could have like the worst night ever. Mm-hmm. Everything's falling apart. Before a patient to say, thank you so much.
Like, oh, it was worth it a little bit.
You were great. I'm like, yeah, that went back.
Okay, somebody came out better.
But if I have a patient that's just like cussing me out, angry at me, acting like I'm, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I try. I feel like I really try as a nurse. But it's like if I get that almost like they're attacking me, like what?
And at that point, you shut down. You're supposed to be empathetic. You're supposed to be all these other things that they quote. And when you come across somebody like that, and you're supposed to what? If I left my baggage at home, you throwing all your baggage on my face. And along with the rude patients, we're going to come on to the next point with rude family members. Because sometimes they just move into the hospital when their family is there. And while I understand your family being sick, but if you're not helping, if you're not there to be, I don't know, peaceful, whatever the case may be, stay home.
I've had some patients where the family was more of a patient than the patient.
Bruh.
For example, the family's demanding me. The family needs this. The family needs that. The family has questions. The family wants you to call a doctor. The family wants this and that. And it turns into like, wait a minute. I'm not even pleasing the patient anymore. I'm pleasing you.
And it's like, my mom said her stomach doesn't feel good. She didn't eat dinner. Does she want to eat maybe? She might have gas. No, call the doctor. These are all like normal body processes. If you weren't in a hospital, you would deal with the same thing at home. You know, if you don't eat, this is what happens. Or if you overeat, this is what happens. Why are we talking about this right now?
And I don't know if you had this, but I've had a lot of patients where the family's like, oh, my mom's in pain. And then you go to the patient, oh, are you having pain? And then they're asleep. Or they're just like, no, I'm fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have family members that are freaking out, doing the most, asking for this and that. I'm like, okay. I call the doctor. I tell the doctor all their concerns. Doctor orders all these things, labs, imaging, blah, blah, blah. And this is in the middle of the night. All this stuff is getting done for the patient. The patient's like, oh my gosh,
why do you have to take me to CT? Why do you have to take my vitals right now? Can you not take my sugar? You have to poke me again. I'm like, yeah, you asked me to.
And it comes to the point where I'm just trying to please you. Like, some of these things, I'm not going to say everything.
Necessary.
Some of these things are unnecessary, or some of these things can wait. You know what I mean? And sometimes I feel like you have, and I feel like this is what it comes down to. I feel like sometimes it comes down to a point where the family needs to reevaluate the plan of care for the patient. Because they want X, Y, Z, and the patient's hanging on for dear
and
life.
unrealistic,
And the patient's ready to go.
Unrealistic expectations.
The patient's ready to go.
Or they'll be like, my 89-year-old mother used to walk at home before she came to the hospital, and she's been here for 3 weeks. Well, yes, that is expected. They will have trouble getting back up. Any normal person would have muscle weakness, let alone an 89-year-old.
You know what I mean? So sometimes it's up to the family to talk to the patient and say, what do you want to be turned every 2 hours? Do you want a rectal tube? Do you want all this lactulose making you poop all over the place?
Which is where advanced directives is important. And I'm seeing that every day. And I'm definitely going to dictate everything that needs to go on my last days. Because y'all not going to play with me like this.
Because no one wants to keep getting stuck with IVs, stuck for labs, go over here,
and
go over
it's
there
like
for
you
imaging.
know for sure they're going to go. You know for a fact. It's just a matter of time. I feel like that time could be used in better ways.
Yes.
And hospice is highly underappreciated.
Yes, you could, if your family's dying, you could spend their last moments with them, but they'll be comfortable.
Yes.
In the comfort of their own home.
Or even if it's at a facility that the people choose, but then it'll be with the right medications that they need, not with our every so often vitals, not with our, poking and prodding. Just
because I'm not gonna lie, we do a lot to the patients that is uncomfortable, and if it's just to please the family member and not for the well-being of the patient, you start to feel bad as a nurse.
Like, I gotta wake you up again. I'm sorry, but let's go. Next on the list is the charge nurse. Okay.
So, I know every floor is different and every facility is different. I've worked at places where I've been a charge nurse before. I was briefly. I ain't like it. I've been a charge nurse. I've been a charge nurse with my own set of 6 patients. I've worked places where the charge nurse has their own patients. I've worked places where the charge only has like 1 or 2. And I work places where the charge has no patients. They're just there only to help the nurses and to kind of manage the floor a little bit.
But the running joke or the running issue is that they don't help out. They don't get up.
And whenever you have a charge nurse like that, it really makes me want to pull the hair out of my head. Because I'm like, bro, you're not doing anything. You're here to help me, and I need your help.
So, like, by definition, at least when I started nursing, they told me, my manager told me, your charge nurse is there as a resource. So you can ask her questions. If you're going to be late on something that you shouldn't be late on, she can get up and go hang that for you, because
some if the cardiac crying in pain, they can go get them
pain meds. So you can't wait. These are
these are things that can't wait.
This is what they're there for. Also, it's like a feeling for doctors as well, because sometimes they'll come on the floor, order. I'm not there. I'm in the room with someone. This and that. So they're already there. But some charge nurses just kick back and just assign patients. I feel like they're very confident and that's what they're there for, assigning patients.
I've worked with charge nurses that are like, if a patient, I don't know if you've had this experience. I've worked with charge nurses where the patient is either upset or the family's upset. Someone's upset. And they want to talk to someone higher than me. Like, I'll listen to them and I'll kind of sympathize. I'll say, I'm so sorry, blah, blah. Let me let you talk to someone. Like, go up the chain of command type thing.
Which is your next person
is the charge nurse. I go to the charge nurse. Charge nurse wants nothing to do with it. They don't have anything to say. They hide.
But the thing is, by morning, it's not a charge nurse situation anymore, where they would have been placated or, eased off by saying, yes, we'll handle it, and this is the process, by explaining policies. Instead of doing that, now we're letting it wait till morning, and people are simmering in their discomfort. Or
sometimes people just want someone of authority to talk to.
The manager comes in now and they're like, I hate your floor. Your people are trash.
Big problems.
Yeah.
Big problems. big problems. I work with charge nurses. You ask them something, they don't know nothing. They're asking you.
Yes.
They're asking you the same question.
Bless these people's souls. I have this older lady who every time I come to work chooses me because the other nurses are very hostile looking. Should I say? And the few of us who will answer the question, it's like, I know these people are nice, so I'm always gonna go to them, and that kind of leaves a toll on us too, because I'm like, why am I answering 50 questions for you tonight?
Bruh.
Yeah. I'm all about helping out.
Or doing 50 tasks. Like, once or twice, I get it. But, like, when you look at me, like, get up and go turn off the IV for a nurse who's off doing whatever. Again, no.
So I feel like, and I don't know. When I used to be a charge nurse, I didn't know all the questions, but I was like, if I don't know, I'm going to find out.
There you go.
I'm going to find out for you, and I'm going to see. I'm going to go up the chain of command. I'm going to see what I can do. Okay? I'm going to see how we can fix this.
To be honest, we all know where policy is, but also that title is important. That delivery is important, so...
You know, I work with charge nurses. I ask them a question, and they're looking at me like, why do you think I know? And I'm like, well, can you find out? Can you help me?
Call the nursing supervisor? Like, I'm not supposed to call them.
I'm not supposed to call them.
And I have called the nursing supervisor before, and then they were like, talk to your charge nurse.
Because that's what it is. You have to go up the chain of command. That's what
And when we try to do it properly, we have blocks in the way, and there you go. Nobody should be a charge unless they're willing to take that responsibility.
And it's a big responsibility. And I understand some people get thrown into this. I got thrown into it. But you have to have some type of professionalism. Okay? No one knows all the answers. But if you don't know, I'm going to find out, or I'm going to help you, or we're going to get this straightened out together somehow.
They always tell you that in nursing school. Like, I remember that from nursing school. You never tell the patient, no, I don't know.
Exactly.
You always say, hold on, excuse me, I'm unsure at this moment in which way to explain this to you. I'm going to double check with my policy and confirm, and I'm going to explain it to you the correct way.
Absolutely.
I'll be back.
You have to use your resources. That's what some places call it charge nurse. I worked at places where they call it the resource nurse.
That they've had those
because
too.
they use their resources, and they're a resource to the floor nurses too.
Because the resource nurse in the hospital that did encounter that type of nurse, granted there was like a charge nurse, but it was for like a bigger floor, like more and more patients. But the resource nurse helps you with discharges, help getting them out in the appropriate amount of time, because it's unrealistic expectations. Discharge orders in at 5, they should be out by 7. No, it's not gonna happen.
And that's another thing I want to mention. This is just a side note. I want to know what's going on with all these discharges happening at night. Okay? You guys tell me how your facility works. I've traveled for the past 2 years. Okay? Most places I've gone, discharge is a day shift thing. Because sending a patient off at night is kind of unsafe.
Because you don't know who's driving at night. You don't know. Transport is better. Either way, family members are more available. Like, who leaves it? Like, 7 is that telling. Like, paperwork is done. I got to wheel them down. I don't mind doing that. But why am I letting somebody go? And in the beginning of your shift is the heaviest part. So for me to stop, all I have to do...
to send someone off. And the thing is, I don't know if they're ready to go. I don't know if everything is set up. Yeah. I really don't even know where they're going. Like,
night shift is
you find out, but you got a lot going on.
Right.
And
night
then you're
shift
just like,
is a different
send them off.
vibe.
Like, that's not safe. The place we're working at right now, I remember when I did, this is a tangent, okay? I remember when I did orientation, they're like, no, we don't do discharge that night. That's rare. Every night. Every night I come in. Every night I come in, I have a discharge, okay? I have a discharge. And you know what they like to do? They like to start me off with, this is what a traveler life is.
Yes.
They start you off with the least amount of patients, then you lose one from a discharge, then you get admission.
All the admissions.
Bruh.
Nobody else does. And then when you're like, wait a minute, I have 3 and she has 5. So that
And I have
means
the
that I have
wildest
to
3.
get...
It's not like you just have 3. You have the wildest 3 on the floor.
So first admission yours. Then it's like, oh, she still has 4. I have 5. I'm not taking the next one.
Another admission.
Another one.
So this topic, I feel like a lot of travel nurses can relate to. Because as a travel nurse, you're going to get the worst assignment. But what we've noticed is with a lot of, wherever we go, we're always a traveler, they'll change. So let's say I had patients 1 through 5 the day before.
Mm-hmm.
I come to work, I do my thing, maybe I have a good night.
Mm-hmm.
I leave. I come back again the
I'm
following night.
expecting 1 through 5.
Maybe someone felt like
Continuation of care.
Maybe someone felt like 1 through 5 was too easy for me. They saw me sitting down all night. They're, oh, Cynthia needs 6 to 11. And I'm like, wait a minute, I had 1 through 5. How come I can't get my same patients back? That's something we deal with a lot.
Yes.
And it's very frustrating because sometimes they'll take away your good patients and give you the wild ones. Or
Yes.
sometimes they'll just change the whole thing to you. Or sometimes they'll put you on a whole other floor.
I have,
You know what I
one
mean?
I have one even better for you. I definitely say I don't like to say anything about my assignment at the beginning of the shift because you never know what you can get back. Like,
You never
know. Like it's
You never
up
know.
in the air. But this one floor at this hospital, and there's this one charge nurse who's very there's these tough charge nurses. They don't care. You can handle everything, bro. They think you a MMA fighter and a doctor back in your country.
Think you're
And
6'5". You can turn
You're a
the
security
patients,
guard.
patients up.
and you got 4 arms. And you can handle anything. So
they
she
give
was
you-
like,
they give
I
you
had the
lows,
worst
like-
patient. I thought I had the worst patient. I go in the room, blah, blah, blah. I'm dealing with this. I'm like, wow, I have 3 patients. Confused. I have pegs. I have this. I have that. I was like, I can't deal with this one. Like, you got to take something away from me. And she took one from me and gave me another patient almost just as worse.
Ooh.
No physical, lots of tubes, but PPN, other things, Q2 dilated. And it's like, you should have complained.
Yeah, sometimes when you
You
complain,
should
you
have
screw
complained.
yourself.
Because that Q2 dilated was worse than that other patient would have been. Like, I'm like, oh, I gotta crush 4 people's meds. I gotta, when you start to, all these tasks. Now, my med pass goes from being 10 minutes to being 30 minutes because I have to prep. I have to do
Per
stuff.
patient.
Yeah. But the crazy request and unending call lights. The unending call lights.
I don't know if you guys have ever worked a shift where it's just ringing. And it doesn't stop for 12 hours either. It's a bell alarm, it's a call bell, it's a something, it's a IV pump, it's just ringing all night long. And then I don't know if this
I
is
have
happening
alarm
to you.
fatigue.
I have gotten alarm fatigue. I have been so alarm fatigue where I'm sitting like, let's say this
Right
is the
next
patient's
to
room
her.
and I'm out there trying all types of alarms going off in the room and I'm just it's just background music and
Like,
put the lights off.
focus, chart, don't get the shit.
I've worked nights where it's like, let's say I have 6 patients, all 6 are calling at the same time, all night long. And it's like you're playing ping pong in, you know what I mean, between the rooms, and they want to have an attitude with you.
And then
Or
the
why you
secretary,
taking so long to come here?
The secretary calling you when they call the secretary.
Or I've had nights where all my people are calling, secretary don't call me. And then I just go in the rooms to do my rounds and the patients are mad.
I've been calling you for 5 hours and you're not here and everything. Or the opposite, because there's the secretary who is there's a secretary who is like, oh Lynn, this patient needs something. Hang up, go handle it. I just sit down. I'm turning the corner to sit down from helping the patient. Beep beep, oh Lynn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like, I'll have a really nice patient, like super bright personality, but you could tell they're lonely. You could tell it's some other underlying thing. Oh, I want another pillow. You leave leave the room. Oh, I need water now. You leave the room. Oh no, I think I need new socks.
I need a blanket. I need a blanket.
I need another blanket.
Oh, by the way, I wet the bed.
And I know I just called you 50 times, but all of a sudden I have pain now.
I've had patients, and you know what another thing is? Some patients, okay, whatever they're needing, but sometimes you get the patients that give you outlandish requests.
Oh my goodness.
Where's the doctor? I need the doctor here now. It's 3 a.m.
The doctor's sleeping, ma'am. I'm sorry.
I've had patients, can you wheel me outside so I can smoke?
Little old lady, sweet thing. Nah, honey, I gotta give you $1 for you to take me downstairs.
I've had a patient where the TV was set to like I guess they call it closed caption. You know where you don't hear the sound of the TV, but it's narrated in words. I've had a patient who was like, "Oh, can you change the color of the words because I can't read white that good. Can you change it to pink? Pink is my favorite color."
Wow.
I'm like, I don't even know how the TV got like that. I didn't even know the TV
Pink is
could
my
do
favorite
that.
color. Pink is my favorite color. At the hospital, that's why you know you could have stayed home.
I've had patients call me and say, "Can you make me a roast beef?" All the requests.
But this is somebody who's serious because I know like all the patients make that joke. "Oh, did you eat today?" This is me trying to assess them now. "Did you eat today? Now it's your poop," stuff like that. And then they're like, "Oh no, I could use a steak." It's not what I was offering, but yeah, I could use one too.
I've had a patient ask
Like,
me,
you can get me a steak.
I don't know if this is a throwback. I don't know if you guys remember. I forgot if it was Pizza Hut or it was some pizza. Domino's maybe. They had that pizza, the Shackinator, because it was a really big pizza. You know, Shaq is tall.
No idea.
So I've had a patient, a stroke patient. Okay, she's on sodium restriction.
Oh.
I've had a patient call me and say, "Can you order me a Shackinator? I'm hungry." This is in the middle of the night, 2 a.m. And I'm like, first of all, I don't think the pizza store is open like that. 2, you're on sodium restriction. You can't have all that sodium. I've had all the requests.
My memory is bad. Oh, that could be another point. Nurses, I feel like we're all gonna be bad memory at the end of the
No,
day.
that's another video. Because I'm very concerned for myself, okay? I don't have any memory. I have no memory. I have no memory. No, that's another video. But hopefully, I remember that topic for
to make the video. It's when you leave the room and you get to by the Omnicell or by the charge nurse, and I'm like, what was that going?
Yes.
What was that going for?
Yes. No, we definitely need to talk about that because that's a concern. Well, okay, guys. I think that was the top 10 biggest frustrations that we have
with
about bedside nursing. I want to hear your thoughts. Comment down below. What are your concerns? What did you feel about our biggest frustrations? Was there anything that we missed?
Are you just coming into nursing?
Yeah, and how's your experience going so far? Because my sister is in nursing school, and she's seeing the things that...
She sees what you're going through, and she's still in nursing school?
Yeah.
We have powwows sometimes at work with possibilities of career changes sometimes. If it's bad enough, you know, we throw it back. We could be plumbers. We could be...
For real. But let me know your comments down below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And
like, comment, subscribe.
And also, tell me what's your favorite Haitian food dishes. Did you like juricolet à pois, rice and beans? Do you like griot or do you like something else? Let me know. Alright guys. I think that's about it. Thank you for watching.
Thank you for having me on your channel.
Thank you, Lynn, for joining me. All right, guys. Bye-bye.
Okay.